Hello everybody, it's Nathan, and today I would like to talk about yet another live-action anime. In the previous video, I talked about Death Note, the good Death Note movies. And in today's video, I would like to talk about the upcoming One Piece Netflix adaptation. The cast was revealed on the day that I'm recording this, so you guys should be seeing this video sometime in late November towards the beginning of December when you guys will be watching this, but it's only been a few hours for me since the casting has dropped. I want to give my first impressions of, do I think these characters, just by the picture they give, can they work out to be the Straw Hats? Of course we start with Luffy here. I have no clue who any of these actors are, so I'm just not going to be bothered to try to say their filmography or anything like that, because I do not know personally. So we have this one guy who to play Luffy. He looks semi-serious in that photo, but if he can pull off Luffy's goofy side, that will add a whole lot to the experience. And let's move on to Zorro. Of course they got an Asian to play Zorro. Makes sense here. But he looks a little on the young side. The person's playing Luffy looks older than the person playing Zorro. That's a very interesting. And then we have the person who's playing Nami here. I think she is the only one of notable filmography. I think her name's Emily Rudd. I have no clue. I have not watched any of her movies, TV shows, or anything, so I cannot say if she's a good actress or a bad one. I've just heard the name around. And then we move on to Sanji. Why did they cast an Eminem look-alike for Sanji? Sanji is the only one out of this whole entire cast that's been revealed so far that I can't physically, mentally see that casting work. It's just very strange. But then we have Usopp. That's a good casting. The guy who's playing Usopp he looks the part. Even if the hairstyle's off, he does look it. Just give an extended nose. There you go. You have the Usopp. Do I overall think with this cast will it be good? It all depends on the director. And the pure fact of how much Oda is working on the series behind the scenes. It could be good. But I've been hearing rumblings over the past year that they may add things that really aren't necessary. But do I think you can tell the whole entire East blue in one season? If the episodes are about, let's say, 50 to an hour plus, yes, you would have to really shorten the syrup village. By I mean shorten it, I was saying rush, have some beats happen back to back. Then you can leave time for Baratie, you can leave time for Arlong Park. You really need to show Arlong Park. You need to do that justice for it to work. And if they're going to end it at Logtown, that's going to be a CGI nightmare. If they have the budget for CGI, I'm going to go back and use both the Ghost in the Shell live action and the Netflix Death Note live action. If they have that type of budget per episode, 100% I believe they can do the Devil Fruit powers justice. But if they don't, oh, is this going to look bad? I already criticize anime when they use CG. But when a live action movie does CG poorly? Go to 2019. The movie Alita Battle Angel came out. That they put almost all of the budget in that movie in CG. Alita herself is CG. The face and and her body, that is completely computer generated. That worked. Even though I have problems with the Alita movie, they got the aesthetic of the manga down packed. And for the rest of the stuff about One Piece, I'm hearing that the filming is happening in Cape Town, South Africa. If you look at the geography of Cape Town, 100% you can make it seem like a tropical setting. Even though I wish they would probably film the whole entire Arlong Park somewhere in Florida, but I always got the feeling when I read and watched through Arlong Park, it was a Caribbean area. It's just, I just thought of that when always I imagine that part of the East Blue. But then you have they're all filming them on location, basically. How are they going to do like the flashback? Are they just going to hire a kid for Sanji's flashback, and then many years down the road hope that actor has not aged, so they can do the Vinsmoke side of Sanji's backstory? Or are they just going to film both backstories back to back? Which is a good idea, and then save the footage of the Vinsmokes and stuff for way down the line. That's even if season 2 of One Piece even gets announced. Do I think I'll go see this live action movie on day one when it hits Netflix? I may check out an episode, but I'm not going to watch the whole thing. The reason why is the pure fact that a live action adaptation has to be done with so much care that it's believable. One Piece is action, adventures. It's a good epic story. But 9 times out of 10, live action, especially like manga live action adaptations, they seem to do good when the series is grounded in reality to begin with. Kind of like The March Comes In Like a Lion live action adaptation. I watched both of those movies before I watched the show, and those live action movies seemed so deep rooted in realism that it worked. I hear that there's the samurai kind of movies. I hear the Rurouni Kenshin, that live action movie, is really decent. But as much as I enjoyed the Tokyo Ghoul live action, the 2 movies, it does suffer in the CGI department. If you were to have perfect CGI for the Tokyo Ghoul movies, it's a must-watch for everyone. But sadly, the CGI in that movie's iffy. But it works. How would I want to see the Fishman? That's an interesting concept. How are you going to do like the animal, like creatures, fishmen, minks? How are you going to do that? Let's just hope it's not Cats level of terrifying. That Cats movie was downright creepy. So that's again a problem that we'll have to see with CG. How are we going to do, let's say, I would say Frankie's mostly one of the most outlandish character designs of the Straw Hats, but then Jinbei kind of surpasses Frankie. So, how are they going to do the later members like Frankie, Robin, Chopper, Brooke? You're going to have to do complete CGI on Brooke. 100%. Because Brooke's a skeleton. You just go and grab a random skeleton and hang it up and have it walk. No, you're going to have a guy in a green suit that they can transpose Brooke onto after the fact. That's exactly what I believe they did with the Alita movie, but I think the Alita movie was mocap than anything else. There's going to have to be a decent amount of mocap and good mocap at the same time, motion capture if you guys don't know, to have this work. I do not have any knowledge of how movies are made. This is like an outsider point of view. Would I like to have this series go over well? Of course. I want One Piece to succeed and get out there to as many people as possible. Because I know a lot of people hate watching anime. Yeah, people do hate anime to begin with. But One Piece is an amazing story. It should surpass anime and manga altogether. When I went to the stage plays for One Piece, the costumes were decent, but on first look, the costumes were decent for the stage plays. Then once you really look at the costumes, you can see problems. Like, it's like almost a full bodysuit for every single character, because they need to get the legs and the arms consistent. So it's like everyone is like walking decent. They walk natural, but I have a feeling those cosplays for the stage play were uncomfortable, just because it kind of looked like you're bloated a bit, just to show the costume and everything. Overall, I think the thing is with that stage play, if you're far enough away from the actual stage itself and you're watching it, it looks kind of realistic. And then you had like the cheap bazooka, which is basically the actor for Luffy was standing in there's a pillar in between Luffy actually saying "Gum Gum Bazooka" and stuff like that. And then you see a someone with an arm basically controlling a prop of Luffy's arm stretching. That was cheap. It worked, but it was still cheesy. They can't do that type of stuff in the series, in the Netflix. They have to go full out on Luffy's stretching mechanic, because it's integral to his character. And how are they going to do Smoker if they really are going to Log Town? A smoke machine? That's probably the easiest way to do it, is just like a smoke machine and just like CGI the smoke to go somewhere. That is probably the best. I would honestly like to see like the execution in Log Town, the execution in quotes because it never happens, but I would like to see that. How they going to get Log Town to like feel alive in a way. But I think I've rambled on enough for this topic. I hope you guys enjoyed the bunch of videos I had out this month. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as always. This is Nathan, signing out. Everyone, have a great day.